Hi everybody, and welcome to Spanish Pills, the best YouTube channel to learn to speak Spanish. Hola a todos y a todas, valientes amantes del español, y bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo de Spanish Pills, el mejor canal de YouTube para aprender a hablar español. As you can see, the topic I would like to share with you in this video is how to use the expression te importaría in Spanish, obviously, because you already know how to use that expression in English. So, are you up for the challenge? Do you want to give it a try? Yes? 3, 2, 1, comenzamos. Like always, we will start by observing how to use the expression in both languages, in English and in Spanish. We're going to find the similarities and the differences, and then you will be prepared to use it correctly. Okay? So let's begin. First of all, regarding the pronunciation, my English pronunciation, remember that English is not my first language. I am a native Spanish speaker, so I will probably make some mistakes. So just be patient with me, okay? The important thing is that you learn to speak Spanish. You already know how to speak English, okay? The very first thing you need to pay attention to is the fact that after the verb to mind in English, you're going to use an ing ending verb, but in Spanish, you won't. You will use an infinitive. Take a look at the example. ¿Te importaría abrir la ventana, por favor? Abrir, infinitive. Okay, let's pay attention to more things. For instance, the subject in English, you. In Spanish, abrir la ventana. On the contrary, abrir la ventana, opening the window, in English would be the direct object. Okay, the important thing, the subject in English, you, tú in Spanish. Do you see the word tú in this sentence? You don't. Let's pay attention to this table and you will understand. You couldn't find the word tú in the sentence, right? But you did find te, a personal pronoun. So, that's the key. Pay attention to this. When the subject in English is I, in Spanish you have to use the word me, the personal pronoun me. When the subject in English is you have to use the personal pronoun te. When the subject in English is he or she, you have to use the personal pronoun le. When the subject in English is we, you have to use the personal pronoun nos. When the subject in English is you have to use the personal pronoun os. And when the subject in English is they, you have to use the personal pronoun les. In Spanish, obviously. Let's get back to the previous example just one more time. If you're using a question with the verb to mind, the very first word that you have to put, that you have to use, is a personal pronoun that substitutes the subject in English. Remember the table. The subject is you in English. That's why the very first word is te. ¿Te importaría abrir la ventana, por favor? So, in this video I'm going to give you many sentences in English that I would like you to translate into Spanish using the verb to mind and all these little things that are similar and different in both languages. Don't worry, we're gonna do this together. I'm gonna give you many tips and as many explanations as you need. In a few minutes, you will realize that this is not very difficult, but it's necessary that you learn to use this expression. So, shall we start? Just something else. Remember that you can pause the video as many times as you want, so you can repeat after me and practice your pronunciation. And something else, this expression is very easy and you will start using it as soon as you finish watching this video. Okay, first sentence. Primera frase. I'm freezing. Would you mind closing the window? How would you say that in Spanish? Me estoy helando. ¿Te importaría cerrar la ventana? Well, the important thing here is the fact that after the verb to mind in Spanish, importaría, te importaría, would you mind, we use the infinitive, cerrar. Okay, now let me tell you something about me estoy helando. To freeze means congelar, but there's an expression, I'm freezing, that we translate as me estoy helando. I can hear you. Would you mind speaking a bit louder? Y en español diríamos, no te oigo. ¿Te importaría hablar un poco más alto? Notice how in Spanish we say no te oigo, and in English I said I can't hear you. If I wanted to translate I can't hear you, no puedo oírte, it means that there's something wrong with my hearing. Better say no te oigo. Use the present simple instead in Spanish. Vamos con otra. I missed the bus. Would you mind driving me home? Okay, in Spanish we would say perdí el autobús. ¿Te importaría llevarme a casa? Okay, just one thing about the verb to drive someone home. In Spanish, we translate the verb to drive as conducir. But when you ask someone to drive you home, we don't translate it as conducir, but as to take you home. Even though it implies that they are gonna use a car to take you home, we use to take as the verb we translate into Spanish. That's why we say te importaría llevarme a casa. And notice that with an infinitive, me goes with infinitive as if it was just one word, llevarme. And how would you say this in Spanish? Would you mind turning the camera off? Exacto. ¿Te importaría apagar la cámara? Muy bien. Let's see how this one goes. I'm really busy right now. Would you mind calling me later? So, in Spanish, we would say, ahora mismo estoy muy liada, or liado, or ocupado, or ocupada. They both mean the same. And then I would ask you, ¿te importaría llamarme más tarde or después? Remember what I've told you before. With an infinitive, if you have to put a personal pronoun afterwards, you turn it into just one word, llamarme, all together. I think in one of my latest videos I talk about this, but just in case, the word later and the word after. The word later in Spanish is translated as más tarde, and the word after is translated as después. So far, so good. The thing is that if in English you say call me later, why do we say in Spanish call me después? Because in a way, I'm asking you to call me after you are doing whatever you are doing. So it's not about time itself, but when you finished, after finishing what you're doing, call me. That's why in Spanish it makes sense to say llámame después. Okay? It's not a big deal. You can say llámame más tarde or llámame después. Both are correct. Don't panic here. Would you like to try another one? Yes. I'm very tired. Would you mind taking out the trash? Let's see how this sentence would sound in Spanish. Estoy muy cansado or cansada. ¿Te importaría sacar la basura? To take out the trash, sacar la basura. This one is not so difficult. You could start by trying to put this into practice just right now, after watching the video. What do you think? Do you want to give it a try? Seguro que os sale genial. Let's see this one. Would you mind turning off the lights? And in Spanish, you are supposed to say something like, ¿Te importaría apagar las luces? Let's see what's going on here. I'm working late tomorrow. Would you mind picking up Luis from school? Okay, let's see how it goes. Me quedo trabajando hasta tarde mañana. ¿Te importaría recoger a Luis del colegio? First thing, recoger, to pick up. In English, it is a phrasal verb, but in Spanish, it is a prepositional one. So you need a preposition after the verb. Recoger a. Never forget that. Recoger a Luis, in this case, from school. And now about the first sentence, it is a very free translation. I admit that. But that's the way we say it. Sorry. If you want to learn to speak real-life Spanish, this is how it sounds. Me quedo trabajando hasta tarde mañana. I'm working late tomorrow. So easy in English. I can't understand how I could complain when I was learning English. I don't think it's necessary to find similarities or differences between this sentence in English and in Spanish. Just try to learn it like that, use it like that, put it into practice like that, and it's not a big deal. I hope you can use it a lot, but I insist, it's not a big deal. Don't freak out. Vamos a ver esta. I can't solve this problem. Would you mind helping me? And in Spanish, it would be, no logro resolver este problema. ¿Te importaría ayudarme? Well, let's start by paying attention to the infinitive. Once again, when you have a personal pronoun next to an infinitive in Spanish, it becomes just one word, ayudarme. In English, I said, I can't solve this problem. And in Spanish, you would probably say the same thing, using the same words, like a word-by-word translation. No puedo resolver este problema. But the thing is that you're learning to speak real-life Spanish. And in real-life Spanish, we have so many different ways, so many expressions to say the same things, that I would like you to get in touch, to get familiar with some of these new expressions for you. So if you cannot solve something, you can say, no logro resolver este problema. No logro resolver. To solve means resolver. And no logro is a way of expressing that you've spent a lot of time trying to solve that problem, trying to find a solution, but you can't. So you feel like impotent, you need help, you're asking for help. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I chose the right adjective. Should I say impotent or better powerless? Excuse me if I said it wrong, okay? Sometimes, as you can see, I try to re-edit my videos and my explanations in order to make them easier for you. But sometimes I make mistakes and I don't want to delete them because I need you to understand that when you are learning, and in my case, remember, English is not my first language. I'm here to teach you to speak Spanish. It's okay, even for the teacher, to make mistakes. So that's why sometimes I prefer to keep them, okay? And the last one, la última. Would you mind buying some milk at the grocery store on your way home from work? In Spanish, the sentence would be, ¿te importaría comprar algo de leche de la tienda de camino a casa del trabajo? Is it too complicated? Do you see many things that you don't understand? Let's focus on the infinitive. Remember, ¿te importaría comprar? Infinitive. Then algo de leche, some milk. We say algo de leche. From the store, from the grocery store, de la tienda. On your way home, de camino a casa, from your work, del trabajo. I think it might look a bit scary at first because it has too many words and expressions that you're not familiar with, but it's not that hard. Believe me, it's an easy sentence. Well, this time, thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this video, and sorry for my English. I'm trying to make it sound better, but it's hard. It's very hard. I hope the content of the video is useful for you, can help you, and I think you could start putting into practice right now. So do it. And remember, like and subscribe. Nos vemos pronto con un nuevo vídeo. Hasta pronto. Adiós.